I was 16. My father promised me that I could get my driver's license. I didn't make it. The mother took me out, you know, she says, you're going to get your license. And she told me.
Then I had a little Model A on the farm, used to haul hay in. And mine was kind of trial and error. Mostly
Ladies and gentlemen, here they are. Kay Kaiser.
I had an old Austin
Jake Lumstead.
to drive. I learned to drive that around the farm roads and back fields.
And Cliff Cudney. Beauty. Roy. And Al.
Stunt driving, or thrill driving as it's commonly called, has become not only a popular spectator sport, but a unique method of demonstrating the durability of automobile equipment and driver skill. The drivers, men and women, can put 3,000 or 4,000 pounds of speeding steel and rubber through tricks that even look unbelievable. Stunt drivers seem to be a different breed from the rest of us. Like jet pilots, mountain climbers, or even lion tamers, they must be very good at what they do. Their lives depend on their skills. But then the same thing could be said for all of us, every time we put our key in the ignition. We can all learn a great deal about safe driving from watching and listening to this trio of pros. Their stunts demonstrate the ultimate stresses an automobile can withstand if it's maintained in peak condition, and the stresses a driving team can survive with practice, skill, and precision. For Uni, Roy, and Al, it's a dangerous profession, but they count on two things: their equipment and themselves, and both are as safe as they can make them.
Precision means that you're running bumper to bumper at speeds exceeding 60 miles an hour. The lead car sets the pace.
I'm usually the lead car, or have been so far. I think the reason that we decided that way, in my show back home, I am the lead car, and I have been for the last 10 years.
You kind of train yourself in this manner of driving. So you try to get to thinking just how your partner would be thinking. And then you try to run the same routine.
I would have to venture to say that the last car has the most difficult position and the most dangerous.
Yeah. Last
because
car
he's got two in front of him.
Has to be watching whatever's going on.
Sure, it's dangerous. Actually, we take more precaution to take I would say 90% of the danger out of our stunts, and takes years and years of experience before you're a top driver.
But also, if you got a lead driver that is a lead driver, such as Kay is, and she gets out there and holds that pace, it takes a lot of work out of trying to keep precision together.
Thank you.
That's okay. Well, driving on the track, once again, we're a team. We tried to think the way the other person is going to think.
But when you're on the highway, if someone runs a stop street or pulls out in front of you, there's no chance to think about it. This is when people are injured and killed.
We all go up the ramps together, and Jake goes out. Cliff and I are on two wheels. There's no receiving ramp. You land directly on the racetrack.
This is an event where it could be one of the greatest wrecks you ever seen if it was done wrong.
The longer I'm in this business, the more street and highway driving does concern me, and to be perfectly frank with you, it scares me just a little bit. There's too many other people out there who are very inexperienced or very poor drivers, and who are going to do things that I would never believe possible, let alone
We're on the highway, driving for 5 people, yourself and the 4 around you. You come up and throw the car over the balance point, check it, and bring it back to the balance. On a 2-wheel driving, I go off the ramp approximately 22 miles an hour. Now that you got it on the balance, in order to drive it, you do it with the gas pedal and the steering. After I get it up, it's all according to the track situation, where you are, how far you want to go. I have been up as high as 55 miles an hour on 2 wheels, but I don't suggest that for long distance driving. You have to let up, back down on the gas, let up, back down, in order to keep the car going in a straight line. So really, the only way you can balance the car is with the steering wheel and the gas pedal. And a lot of practice.
automobile is more dangerous than a loaded gun. One automobile can do so much more damage to so many more people than one shotgun.
Putting a car into a skid. By breaking your back end loose, you have traction on your front wheels and you have power on your back wheels. So therefore, you can get your traction back anytime you want. Just by simply easing off a little bit on the gas pedal, the tires take another
The
bite.
engineers who make these signs, they don't just pick up a piece of cardboard and say, well, we'll make this one 30 miles an hour, or I think these people should slow down going through here. This is all engineered, designed for one thing. Try to keep people from killing themselves. Hydroplaning is when the flat surface of the tire acts as a ski and rides up on the surface of the water as a water ski would. Then, of course, you have no more traction, no more adhesion, and no more steering, no more handling.
So away you go.
Yeah, very quick sometimes.
Or you should know that you cannot handle the same speed when it's slippery as you can when it's
The best way to drive on a wet highway is
cautiously,
slowly.
Safely.
Right. It's basically that simple, I believe. When we check our tires at the track, we look for flat spots because we do use them in the slides and the spins. We check the air pressures. We check for any cuts or the same situations exist no matter where you are on the highways. Of course, especially on the highway, there's much greater chance of bruising a tire when you sometimes you can hit a curb and not realize you've hit it or pinched a tire in a curb. You can hit stones, you can hit sharp objects in the road that you don't even see, that many people think, well, if I hit something, I'll hear it. The thing that happens most often is the unexpected. Someone pulling out in front of you, a child running out in front of you, a ball bouncing out in front of you, a dog, a cat. And the two things that are most common are instant hard braking or instant swerving.
As you go around the corner, your car leans and your tire would lean. So therefore, if you had a 5-inch surface on the road, when as you're going through the corner, you only have 3.5
In hard braking conditions on a normal tire, the tread of the tire, or the footprint as they call it, distorts if the tire squeezes together and makes a smooth footprint, which is, of course, again, dangerous. A steel-belted radial does not distort under braking or swerving. A front blowout can be handled, where a rear blowout, especially at high speeds, is extremely dangerous.
Actually, I think my driving and thrill show work has made me a more cautious
Street or
driver
highway
on the
driving
highway.
does concern me. You know, when you're doing stunt work, you're concentrating so intently on everything you're doing and everything that's happening around. This becomes habit, driving intensely. Must be exactly on your speed going up the ramp. If you're a half a mile an hour too fast, you overshoot the ramp and you land on a speedway, which can be, but you're half a mile an hour under, you go into the front of the ramp, and that can be disastrous.
I've been jumping ramp to ramp with an automobile since 1956, and I've probably been in excess of 7 miles.
Also, you have to go directly up the 2 red lines painted on the ramp, because if you're 2 inches off going up, you'll be 3 feet off coming down, and the ramps are only 1 foot wider than the width of the cars. So it is quite critical. I think the driver training courses are fantastic. I think it's one of the best things that's come down the pike, as they say. I personally would like to see it greatly. I think that eventually this should be included in the driver program. Skid pads, pylon courses, reaction training facilities, things of this nature to make a person, they teach you how to park a car. That's great. I don't know anybody that's been killed parking a car. The thing that we try to bring across is, first of all, use the best equipment available, the seat belt, check your equipment, and by equipment I mean headlights, signal lights, tires, seat belts, horn, and again, as I said before, the best piece of safety equipment you could ever use in an automobile is a good, safe, experienced driver.